Commanders Nation, welcome to the BBTHD network. This is Commanders Talk, and I'm your host, T to the May, baby, back in the building for another episode of Commanders Talk. On this episode, should the Washington Commanders trade for defensive end Trey Hendrickson? We'll find out right after this intro. Let's get it. All right, Nation, let's get into it. The Commanders are in the market for an edge rusher. The Bengals might have one available. Should the Commanders make a move? Well, maybe. The Commanders made several moves in the offseason to address the edge rush position. They didn't make any moves in the draft, but they made some moves in free agency. But they have yet to find that monster on the edge. And you need that. You need a guy that's going to keep offensive coordinators up at night, trying to game plan a strategy to stop this guy. That's what you need on the roster. Commanders don't have it. They don't have it. They got a bunch of dudes, a collection of dudes, but they don't have that dude. In the NFL today, if you want to compete for a Super Bowl, you need that dude. Someone the offensive coordinators are losing sleep over. You need that dude. Trey Hendrickson is that dude. He can get it done. 17 sacks last year, 17 and a half. He can get it done. So, should the Commanders make a move for him? Should they try to trade for Trey Hendrickson? I think so. I mean, Trey Hendrickson is a monster, man. He demands double teams on the defensive line. He's going to free up pass rush in the middle. On the inside, the tackles will be able to get to the quarterback. The end on the opposite side of him won't have to worry about double teams at all. So, what would it take for the Commanders to land Trey Hendrickson? I don't know. It'll be expensive. I would say the Commanders will have to part with at least the first round pick in next year's draft, 2026. You got to start there. I don't think the Bengals will listen if you start anywhere lower than that. They won't listen to you. So you got to start with the first round pick in 2026 and possibly a player or a couple more picks to go with that. Maybe even like a Daron Payne. You can throw in a Daron Payne and the number one pick in 2026, and that might get it done. I don't see it happening, though. I don't think AP will give up draft capital in next year's draft, especially that first round pick. I think AP want to hang on to that. Now, trading Payne wouldn't be an issue at all. It's highly unlikely that Payne is on the roster next year anyway. You know, with his cap number, Daron Payne's cap number in 2026 is $28 million. That's pretty expensive for a guy who's not doing much. You know, take a couple years off after he got that big paycheck. You know, he's not doing much. So to get rid of Payne, I think he's gone regardless. So he's not an issue. If the Commanders cut Daron Payne next year, the Commanders would save $16.8 million. That's a huge savings. So Payne is out of here regardless. So if you trade him, whatever, the problem is the draft capital. Now, what's Trey Hendrickson's market value? That's another question. His market value, Trey Hendrickson market value is $32 million a year, right? Maybe a little higher. I think 32 to 34 would get him signed long term. Now, that's a lot of money. You think the Commanders be willing to pay $32 million to Trey Hendrickson? Highly unlikely. But let's take a deeper dive into Trey Hendrickson's numbers. All right, his PFF grade 88.1. That's pretty good. He had 83 pressures on 823 snaps. That's pretty effing good, right? That's pretty effing good. Pass rush grade 90.4. Run defense grade 65.9. So against the run, he's not as stout. He can get you them sacks, but against the run, setting the edge on the defensive line, it's not that great. Maybe you can coach him up. Maybe. He had 22 solo tackles last year, 7 assists, 2 forced fumbles. Ball is life. Joe Witt, ball is life. He had 17 and a half sacks in 2024. He had 17 and a half sacks in 2023. 8 sacks in 2022. 14 sacks in 2021. 13 and a half sacks in 2020. So 2022, he had a little bit of a down year, but he still had 8 sacks in a down year. Listen, man, if a Commanders edge rusher gets you 8 sacks, we're celebrating around here. Trey Hendrickson had that in a down year. Premium edge rusher. That's what we need. Now, would the Commanders be willing to pay that hefty price for Trey Hendrickson? Trading the draft capital, first round pick, a player, and maybe another pick, and giving him 32 to 34 mil a year? I don't know. I think it's highly unlikely. I don't really see AP making this move. Now, would I do it? Yes, I would do it. I would make this move. I would give the draft capital for next year and get this guy. You got to strike while the iron's hot. You got the franchise number 5 who is actually on that rookie deal. So you can afford to make this move. And basically all you're doing is taking Daron Payne's money and giving it to Trey Hendrickson, a guy who's much more effective. Daron Payne's making 28. All you're doing is taking that and you're giving it to Hendrickson. I would do it, hands down. If the Bengals are willing to play ball, they may not be. I don't know. Now, the word on the street is the Miami Dolphins plan to cut Jalen Ramsey, cornerback Jalen Ramsey. If cut, should the Commanders go after Ramsey? I don't know. This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one. I don't know. I guess it depends on how much it will cost, right? How much would it cost to sign Jalen Ramsey? Even if it's a 1-year deal, how much would it cost? What's his market value for a 1-year deal? Jalen Ramsey's market value for a 1-year deal would be around 15 to 18 mil, right? Okay. The Commanders have right now, as of today, $23 million in cap space. So, and they still need to sign their draft picks, right? So, to trade for Jalen Ramsey, they will have to create cap space to make this work. Now, how can they create some cap space? Well, it's simple. You extend Scary Terry. Give him an extension. Put most of that in signing bonus. His cap number would be pretty low. You can lower his cap rate. You can extend Marshawn Lattimore. I know a lot of people looking at me crazy right now, but you can do it. You can extend Marshawn Lattimore. I think his salary cap hit is somewhere around 18, something like that. You can give him like a 2-year deal. You give him more than half of that 18 as a signing bonus. So you can free up money there. So you can take those 2 extensions and use that money to sign Jalen Ramsey to a 1-year deal, right? And also, like I said before, you can take Daron Payne's money and you give it to Trey Hendrickson. So now you can add Trey Hendrickson and Jalen Ramsey at the cornerback spot. Wow. Yeah, I know. This ain't fantasy football, I know. But these things can happen. If you have a good front office, you can make these things happen. You really can. So let's take a look at Jalen Ramsey's numbers, man. Jalen Ramsey, let's see. PFF grade, 76.9. Okay? He had 2 interceptions last year on 1,027 snaps. So 2 interceptions, look at, people thinking like, oh, that's not a lot. But at the same time, think about it. A lot of teams don't even go to his side because he's dangerous. He can pick you off. He can take it back to the house. So a lot of teams kind of game plan away from Jalen Ramsey. So to have him and Marshawn Lattimore opposite each other, you got to go at one of them, and most likely one of them going to get you. One of them going to get you. They're gonna pick one of those balls off sooner or later. They're going to get you. All right? His pass rush grade, 76.5. Run defense grade, 85.7. His coverage grade, 71.9. So the boy can cover. He definitely can cover, man. Ramsey, listen, man. The bottom line is Ramsey can still ball. And to put him and Lattimore on the field together would be wow. That'd be wild. That would be an offensive nightmare. And then to have Trey Hendrickson creating that pressure. Man, you talking top 5 defense right off the break. Top 5. And so, okay, well, yeah, sure. We just drafted a cornerback, right? No problem. I mean, you just stick him on the bench. The Ramsey deal is like a 1-year deal. You stick Amos on the bench who can actually watch and study two of the best in the game. He can watch and study Lattimore. He can watch and study Ramsey, right? Sit him on the bench for a year. It's no big deal. And then also, we can't forget about this guy, Sanders still, Mikey, at nickel. So you're going to roll out Jalen Ramsey, Marshawn Lattimore, and Mikey at that nickel. Come on, man. Whoever the cornerback coach is, I can't think of his name right now, but whoever he is, he ain't got a game plan. He can go play golf while they have defensive meetings. He ain't got to be there. He ain't got nothing to worry about. You got them 3 cats, you ain't got a game plan, nothing. All you got to do is say, you cover him, you cover him, you cover him. That's it. That's all you got to do. After that, I'm going to go play golf. I'll see y'all later. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to worry about it. So, would I sign Jalen Ramsey and would I trade for Trey Hendrickson? As you can already probably tell, the answer is yes. I would do it. I would go all out. I'm signing these cats, man. I'm trading for these cats. I'm signing cats if they come available. Anybody that can help us get to the Super Bowl, I'm doing it. You got to strike while that iron's hot. Because sooner or later, you're going to have to pay Jaden Daniels a boatload of paper. You're going to have to. You're going to be making he could be the highest quarterback in the league. He could be making that. He's going to probably be making about $70 million a year by the time his number come up. So you got to strike. You got to make things happen now. And if you don't, you're going to miss out on the opportunity, that rookie contract. You're going to miss out on that. So I'm going all out. I'm getting both of these dudes. Fantasy football 101. I'm getting both of these dudes. No doubt about it. All right, nation. That's the end of this episode. I appreciate y'all chiming in. Man, please get in that comment section. Let me know if you would trade for defensive end Trey Hendrickson. And also let me know, if cut, would you go after Jalen Ramsey? I would. Let me know what you would do in the comment section. Also, please bang that like button, bang the notification bell. Please subscribe to the machine. This channel needs your support. Please subscribe. And if you can, please make a donation. If you made it to this episode, I owe you a drink, baby. Salute.